So now this data which I'm talking about today is this email was sent by one of my subscribers whose name is also Ajay, and he had given me this employee name, login time, break time, meeting time, meal time, feedback time. Seems like some uh, you know the BPO or the call center industry data where you have all these different categories. Now we want to actually convert this data into something meaningful, you know, and we also want to capture that in this sheet. If I go and kind of make a dashboard where I can capture all my associates, the total login time, total break time, because guys, you can see that here we have every employee name repeated. Somebody is coming 2 times, somebody is coming 3 times. As you can see, BB is coming 3 times, CC is coming once, and DD is coming 4 times, 5 times, right? So basically the idea is we wanted to capture the total, the total time spent by this agent AA and then maybe BBCC, and we wanted to see the total sum of login time, break time, meeting time, right? So the first thing which we are going to do is I will quickly go and copy this. You go to the summary sheet, you just paste the data there, and now we want to remove the duplicates, guys. So keep your selection same, okay, keep your column A selected, what I mean, and then let's go to the data, and in the data we have the remove duplicates. Please go and remove the duplicates. Keep your my data as header on, because we do not want employee name to be excluded. So just click OK, and remove duplicates is very powerful. It is going to remove all the duplicates. 21 duplicates value found, right? So this way, now when you prepare your dashboard, the first time you have all the employee names coming here. Now you just need to obviously go and pick up this login time, right? So keep your login time here. I just go and paste it here in this way, right? Select this, and maybe you can just double click on these margins, these the lines, the ending point or maybe the starting point of any cell. Okay, so I go and select the entire sheet, and I just go and increase the width of any column. If you increase the width of any column, all the columns will reset. Or maybe guys, you can right click and say that you want to actually increase or decrease the row height as well. So this is something you can do from here also, right? So that's how, it's very simple. And the next thing which I want to do is I go ahead and remove the grid lines, and I just go here and put the border here, right? So after putting the border, what you can do, you can use the SUMIF function, right? So we can use the SUMIF. Now in the SUMIF, I have a range, I have a criteria, I have a sum range. So I go in my this data sheet, and because this is my range and the criteria, so I want to go and select the entire A to A column, and in this A to A column I want to filter what you want to filter this employee name, which is AA, and then what you want to sum. Come back to the same sheet and just select this data called B2B. Okay, just go and press enter. So finally you have 278 minutes or seconds, whatever it is, 278 hours, whatever, right? You will find that if you go here and select this 121 and 151, you are going to get 278, guys. This is the SUMIF function. Similarly, if you go and check, we can cross check as well. For example, we can check for the this associate DD. So I go and select this, and you can see that it is 564. So if I go here and I just go and drag this, so I'm going to, before I drag this, what I want to make sure that left to right also, because we have to drag this function. So make sure you lock the A part, keeping your row part 2 open, right? Because down the line A2 should change to A3, A4. I drag it, and finally we have got the answer. As you can see here, we got this 564 for the DD, and that's what I think we were getting. Perfect. So this is working. Now the only thing which you need to do is the range, because this range is always going to be filtered by this employee name, and this will always target this column. So make sure that we should go ahead and freeze the column A to A, right? Like this. And then further we go in the summary A2, this is okay. And in the data B2B, this is, let's keep it like this only. You know why, guys? Because when you go and move this left to right, see what is going to happen. due to the cell referencing, your column which we decided, which we chosen for the login time B2B, it is automatically changed. And since your headers are in the same order, you don't have to worry about it, because here you are going to actually pick up the AA in this range, and this SUMIF function will convert these all AA into true, and the rest of the values will be converted to the false, and finally we will have this break time. So you can see here, if I just go and sum this for the break time for this my AA, then it says 403, right? 200 plus 203. So I go here and you can see that it's working. So I don't think so you have to now work on it. This is automated, fantastic. And I just go and drag this. This is how it is, right? Now maybe you can do one thing. What generally I do, I select the entire the range, and I go here and I go in the more border. In the more border, I just select this thin line, I click here like this, and the outer portion, obviously I want to make it little dark. So this is how you can do. Maybe if you want, you can give it some different color. For example, I can go and say that this is the line color which I want to give. Click back here, click here, and that's how your the dashboard looks like, right? So this is the first thing. Now we have got all these login items, the login time, break time, everything. I know this is very simple thing, but my agenda is not only this. I'm not gonna stop here. The another thing which we are supposed to do is that now the next time, for example, this is a weekly report, this is a monthly report, I do not know, right? My subscriber did not provide this much of information, but one thing was mentioned there, that is there any way that we can track that in future, because this is the data which keeps on changing. So every time you have a new data getting pasted here, okay? So whenever you have a new data pasted here, right, maybe weekly report comes or monthly report comes, name which is coming new, which is added, which was not added before, and which is added now in this data, that we will be able to find it out, right? So this is something, guys, we are going to do now. So what we can do is, you can build here a formula. The first thing which you will do is, you will simply go here and use the VLOOKUP. Okay, now when you use the VLOOKUP, you are going to find this the value which you're going to paste every week, every day, every month. As I said, I do not know this, so but I know that this is the new data which is going to be pasted, keeping your headers same, right? So guys, we will look up this AA in our list. Simple. So you go and find out this AA, and then because we want to find it out whether this employee ID exists or not, I just go and press 1,0. Now what will happen, because AA exists there, so when you just go and drag this drag this list, this is what you will get. For example, look at this, all the IDs which are not available there, they are going to show as NA, but because we have got all the the names there, obviously because I picked up all the names from there. Now let's say I'm just going to add something new. Maybe I go and add here, let's say Ajay. Now you can see that it is coming here as a error, right? So what I do is, I add basically 2 Ajay, right? And one more, let us say we go and add let's say Sam, and the Sam is added here 3 times, okay? And one more, let's say Alam, and Alam is just entered once. So now all these NAs are not available in your summary sheet, but how to populate there. Now guys, what is my plan? My plan is, because you remember one thing, this may look very easy to you, but one thing we need to, logically this is not exactly so simple. The thing is, because you have the duplicates also, so I cannot say I do not want to build here, I do not want to show here that AA are missing, because they are same, right? So you definitely want to avoid that thing. So that's why I also need to take care of one thing, that my IDs, the IDs which I want actually to display here, they should be unique. Okay, now guys, I have 2 methods, and I hope you will like both of them. If you want to, first of all, just do it using the condition formatting. Let's say you do not want to see what all IDs are, the new IDs are added, but you want to set an alarm that your sheet this entire sheet goes red, then what will you do? And obviously if the sheet goes red, then you can go here and you can check here that all the IDs which are NA, that means they are not available, right? So maybe you can write here IDs to be added. So we can write here IDs to be added, and once your sheet is red, you can just go here and put the filter Alt DFF, which is the shortcut key, and you just go here and go here and in the end tab you just go and press NA, and you can pick up all these and you can copy and paste those IDs there by removing their duplicate values, right? So how to actually give this, how to give this red color to your sheet? Now I have an idea. What I will do, I will go here and say that if there is any error, right? So if there is an error, then what do you mean by that? That means obviously there is some ID which is added new, because that's not available when you actually were making the dashboard. So you can say here that you can write here new, okay, and you just go and press enter. So if error, I hope you know that. If you do not know, please go and watch my video. There is a playlist Excel VLOOKUP and match. Now finally, when you have all the new here, okay, so what you need to do is maybe somewhere here in any cell, now I do not know, that you can plan. You can go and use the countif function, and you can say that in this series I want to count new, okay. So obviously you got the 6 count. So if there is no item, which is added new, this countif will give you an answer called 0, okay. Because if I just go and add all these IDs back, for example Ajay and Sam, if I go here and add it, for example I'm gonna add Ajay and I'm gonna add Sam, and then Alam, for example, can you see that this is 0, right? So what you will do is you will go here and you just go and select this entire table, go to the condition formatting under the tab called home, and here we will go and say new rule, and in the new rule I will say that use a formula. Which formula? Well, if this value is greater than 0, then I want to actually give it a yellow color. Yellow color to what? Obviously yellow color to your entire selection. So you can go and give this yellow color, and I press OK, and there we go. Now you can see that we have got the entire sheet red. So now what will happen, the moment you have the red sheet, you go and start, you will immediately go in the data sheet, and as I said that you will filter out all the names, all the names which are now, because you have put the if error function, so you filter and pull out the new. You put the new in the filter, and you will select and see that what names are added. So I'm just going to write them again here. So I write here Sam, I write here Ajay, I write here Alam. Can you see that? Wow, it's like there is some lightning going on and off, isn't it? So that's how guys you can do this, okay. So right now what I will do, I will just go and create this D and D, and this is going to be G, G, G and G, and this is going to be E and E. Originally this is how the data looked like. So if you go to the summary sheet, cool, right? Nothing getting red, so we are good on that, right? Now I'm just gonna undo it because I want to show you the another method. Now what is the another method? Well, the another method is that forget about this red part. I mean, if you do not want that, you can let me just go and remove the condition formatting from here. So I go clear rules, clear from the maybe entire sheet, okay. Now the another thing which you can do is you just record the macro, okay. Now let's talk about the second method, which is a VBA macro, going to be very basic, very even the beginners who are learning the VBA, they can do it. That is why I'm discussing it, right? So once you have this VLOOKUP, your macro, what it should do, it should put the filter here, Alt DFF, right? And then so maybe we can do one thing, guys. You can record the macro. Let me go and record this macro. So I go here and select the entire sheet, and in the this first row actually I selected, and then I go here and here I just go write equals to what I want to capture new. So then what you need to do is you just need to copy this entire column, and then in this column when you copy this, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the summary sheet, and here you're supposed to paste that. So when you paste that, with the header, that's okay. You just go and say that I want to remove the duplicates. Now this is something which we are going to do in the macro, right? Continue with the current selection, remove the duplicates, and finally when you click on this OK, keep your data as headers, and this is how it is going to remove the SAM. Okay, so you can see here 104853 duplicate values are found, and removed three unique values found. So basically what it is saying is that, you know, it is even counting the blank cells, and the blank cells are considered as, you know, obviously repeated value, but that's okay. We are fine with that. Just click OK. And so this is the another method. Now if you go to your developer tab, and if you see that, you know, how the macro is created, this is the macro 2. Remember, there is one more macro, but that is not a part of this training. So this is a macro which is recorded, and this looks to me very simple, right? So if I just go and show you how we can you know, if we are supposed to run this again, I just go and delete this. So the first thing which you need to do is, when you actually want to run this macro, this is also very important. You want to run this macro, maybe you can create here a button that whenever you click on that button, you know, you should be able to see that. I think that would be the good choice. Or maybe if you think that every time you want to run the macro, whenever this sheet gets selected, then what you can do, you can go in this, not in the module, but you can write the program here in this sheet 3, and then you can go and, you know, click here, make sure that you should be on the worksheet. In the worksheet, please go and select the sheet activate. Okay, so like this is a deactivate, there must be some another event. These are all called the events. They run by themselves whenever the condition meets. So whatever you write here, you know, in the worksheet event, for example, you can write the macro 2. This is a macro 2 name, so you can go and say that here, not here actually, this is in the summary sheet, so you can write there, but I just explain you what it means. You can go and write here call macro 3. Right now, since I have written this macro under the sheet 3, so see what will happen. I explained this many times in my YouTube channel. You can go and check more videos on the events under the playlist Excel VB event. I just put the break code. Now you see, whenever the sheet 3 gets selected, this macro will immediately run. Right now this is giving the error because this is macro 2 actually, not 3. So this will run, and this is how you can see automatically your macro will always fire. It will not wait for you. But you know, maybe you do not want to use this option because I may be using this summary sheet many times, but not every time I want to run. So better, you know guys, so we can create here a button, and we can give it a name. You know, you can just go and create here a small button, or maybe you can go and create here, you know, here or wherever. I mean, that's all up to you. And just go there and right click and say that this macro is macro 2, right? So whenever that macro gets clicked, you should have your duplicate values. Now let's go and check the macro 2 if it is correct or not. So if I see that row 1 to 1 is getting selected, but this is wrong because nowhere we are saying that this macro first has to go to the data sheet and then, you know, it has to select the row number 1. So sometimes it happens macro editor does not record everything. So you go to the data sheet, and before I go to the data sheet, I want to make sure that filter should be removed. Okay, so this is how the filter is removed. Let's go and run the code now, and let's say I'm on the summary sheet. So now we will go and run the code. So this is my code, right? So I go here, and you can see that in the background row 1 to 1 will be selected, and then we will have the auto filter, right? You can put the condition here that if the filter is already there, remove it. If it is not there, then you can just go and use the selection dot auto filter. That I leave it to you. Now here you can see that a filter is going to be applied in the A1 to K37. If you have a big data, obviously you can modify this. Otherwise, when you record the macro, this will be recorded by default, and it says that you got to put the filter, you know, on the field 11, and the criteria is equals to new. So finally guys, every time this new will come, right, and then you will select the column A, you will copy it, you will go to the summary sheet, perfect, and then in the K to K, you know, you will go and paste that. You can see that we have got the data pasted, and after that on that range you can see K1 to K1048543, the duplicates will be removed, right? Maybe you can keep this, minimize this range, that's all up to you. Or maybe you can put the variable here instead of this 1,048,000, you know, you can capture that what is the last row by using the control up arrow. That's, I leave it to you, but I'm just going to remove the duplicates, and finally the duplicates are going to be removed, right? As you can see here, it happened in the VBA and the duplicates are removed. And then finally we are on the K2, and then you don't have to, I think, select the K2K. So just leave this option as it is, and now, you know, so this entire portion is not required. Now I go and just delete all this. Okay, so I go and delete this, reset the button, and that's how, guys, you can use this macro. Okay, we can definitely go and check this. Let me stop the recording. Also, I forgot to stop the recording. What a funny incident it taken place, huh? I forgot to record the macro, and that is why I was checking that why these lines are coming, you know. Basically what we did, we forgot to record, stop the recording, and we went to the VBA window. We went to the VBA window, and the steps which I did, they were again, you know, I mean, kind of getting recorded there. But anyways, that's fine. Now I just go and delete this. Once you know, you find your names, you can go and add them here, and then you can delete this. Or maybe you can again, you know, write the VB program here. That I leave it to you. Now for the time being, I just go and, you know, delete this entire column, guys. Let us go and check that. So now whenever I run this button, I should be able to see my all the new names, right? So let's go and check that. Now what I will do, I will add here in the filter, make sure you remove the filter also after the macro. So I go here and write here test. Okay, maybe I go and write, let's say, test1, and then let's say one more name. We are going to add let's say Rito. Okay, just one. So now we go here, and suppose this is your data, and this is your summary sheet, and this is your new data which you have pasted. Now you quickly go here and you just click here whether do we have any ID or not. So I click on this, and now let's see that. So this is the file, and you can see that this is removing the duplicates. That's why it's taking little time, you know. Macro is taking time because the range, I think, is quite long. Okay, so finally you will be able to see all your names, and then you can delete it. You can create a separate button. So condition formatting is also a good idea. This quick macro is also a good idea. And make sure, guys, when you get this workbook open, the filter should not be there, right? Or maybe in the macro, just record that once you have the data pasted here, the new IDs, we go here and remove the filter from here. That I leave it to you. So this is all about this small project, small dashboard. I hope you have learned a lot of things today, right? So I'll see you in my next video, and till then, please have a fantastic learning, and please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.